You know that old trivia question, the one about the one country in the world you could go to completely escape mosquitoes? Well, that fun fact isn't true anymore. And in this explainer, we're going to dive into exactly why. Yep, the answer was always Iceland, the land of fire and ice, famous for its glaciers, its volcanoes, and, believe it or not, a surprising and very welcome lack of that familiar buzzing sound. It was a true paradise for anyone who hates mosquitoes. But then, October 2025 happened, and everything changed. For the first time in its entire recorded history, a mosquito population was officially found and confirmed on Icelandic soil. So how does that even happen? How does an entire country lose a status it's held for centuries? Well, it didn't start with a big government announcement or in some high-tech lab. Nope, it all started with one person, a quiet evening, and a very strange fly. And this is the moment it all went down, straight from the source. Bjorn Haltesen wasn't a professional scientist on some big mission. He was just an insect enthusiast. He set a really simple trap using a ribbon sweetened with red wine and caught something Iceland had literally never seen before. Okay, so let's break down the details because this is where it gets really interesting. A hobbyist, Bjorn, finds not just one, but 3 mosquitoes, 2 females and a male in a valley near the capital city. He sends them to the experts, and sure enough, the Natural Science Institute of Iceland confirms it. And this is the crucial part. This wasn't some lone stowaway that hitched a ride on a plane. This was evidence of a small but breeding population. This whole discovery just begs a huge question, right? I mean, Iceland is covered in ponds and marshes. It's basically a perfect mosquito hotel. So how in the world was it a sanctuary for so long? It feels like a total paradox, doesn't it? You'd think all that water would mean a ton of mosquitoes, but for centuries there was nothing. The secret wasn't a lack of water, it was Iceland's uniquely unstable and incredibly harsh climate. So picture this. It's like a deadly trap set by nature itself. A mosquito lays its eggs in a pond. Then winter comes and the pond freezes completely solid. Then a sudden warm spell thaws the ice just enough to trick the larvae into hatching. They think, hey, it's spring, but nope. Another deep freeze comes roaring back, killing the vulnerable newborns before they can mature. This brutal freeze-thaw, refreeze cycle made it impossible for any population to ever get established. So the bottom line is this. There's this super exclusive club of mosquito-free places on Earth, and Iceland just got kicked out. The list is now officially down to one single member, Antarctic. Okay, so if that killer weather cycle was Iceland's secret weapon for all this time, what changed? What finally broke the system and allowed a new species to actually survive? Well, let's meet the new resident, Culiseta annulata. Now, this isn't some delicate tropical species. This thing is tough. It's a cold-resistant mosquito you can find all over Europe. And critically, it can survive the winter as a full-grown adult by hiding out in shelters like basements. Now, the good news is it's not known to carry dangerous diseases in this region, but the fact that it can survive there now, that's the real story here. And why can't it survive now? Because its new home is changing, and it's changing fast. The entire Arctic region is warming at more than double the rate of the rest of the world. That protective, erratic climate that kept mosquitoes out for so long, well, it's becoming a lot less erratic and a whole lot warmer. And here's what that warming looks like in the real world. This isn't some far-off projection. This past May, just a few months before the discovery, temperatures in Iceland were a staggering 13 degrees Celsius warmer than the 30-year average. That brutal freeze-thaw cycle is breaking down. All right, let's zoom out for a minute, because what happened in that small Icelandic valley isn't a fluke. It's the latest data point in a much larger and, frankly, much more worrying global pattern. Just look at this timeline. You can see the pattern clear as day. In 2023, eggs of the Aedes aegypti mosquito, that's the one that spreads diseases like Zika and dengue, were found in the UK for the first time ever. By 2024 and 2025, countries like Italy and France are reporting hundreds of locally transmitted cases of these diseases. And now Iceland is just the latest stop on this relentless northward march. And we're not just talking about a handful of cases here. This chart really visualizes the scale of what's happening. We're talking about hundreds of people getting serious illnesses, not while they're traveling, but right in the heart of Europe. The bugs that carry these diseases are finding new, comfortable homes. So, let's bring it all together. what does the arrival of one tiny insect in Iceland really mean for all of us? So here's the key takeaway. The mosquito itself, this particular species, is just a nuisance. But its arrival is a message. It's a biological indicator, the classic canary in the coal mine, for a planet that is going through a massive, rapid change. Here's the breakdown of why this is such a big deal. First, and most urgently, warmer climates are allowing the mosquitoes that carry really dangerous diseases to expand their territory. Second, a new species like this can disrupt local ecosystems in ways we can't even predict yet, affecting everything from fish to birds. And finally, these insects act as living, breathing data points, showing us in real time just how fast our world is changing. And hey, this isn't just speculation. As entomologist Luke Tilley puts it, these insects are valuable scientific indicators. They're basically on the front lines, observing climate change for us, and they are telling us a story that we really need to hear. The arrival of the mosquito in Iceland isn't the end of a story. It's the beginning of a new chapter. It's a clear, buzzing signal that a system that was stable for centuries has finally been broken. And that leaves us with one critical question. If this is the sign that appeared today, what sign are we going to see tomorrow?